What's good, people? It's your boy Dreamer here, and I want to welcome everyone to the channel and to the first ever video in my educational Game of the Week series. During this series, we'll be breaking down gameplay and teaching points to help you improve your game and the way you think about it. This week, we'll be covering the dueling aspect of the game Overwatch and the deathmatch game mode with everybody's favorite king of the space jungle, Winston. I'll be doing other characters as well in ranked matches, but if you like these dueling guys, make sure to let me know in the comments below so I can do more of them. So if you haven't already, Donkey Kong punch those like and subscribe buttons, and let's hop right into it. So deathmatch is probably my favorite game mode in order to get a little warm up in before I hop into ranked matches, you know? So right out of spawn, what I see is a soldier and a Genji fighting on the side. So what you want to do is Winston, is you want to kind of jump in, drop your bubble in order to mitigate some damage and take advantage of two targets that are already low health. Since you don't have the burst damage potential of a D.Va or a Roadhog or something of that nature, as Winston, if you can take advantage of a target with lower health, it's always to your benefit. Whenever I'm in the middle of a scrim or anything else, I always like to drop my bubble when I don't know exactly where the damage is coming from. That way it gives me a second to find out where the damage is coming from and at the same time protect myself. And I get a chance to see, you know, some escape routes. That time I didn't do a great job of exactly escaping that situation. But, you know, just in the future and trying to get those things done. So a lot of people actually fear as Winston, the soldier versus Winston matchup, because he can just drop his healing circle and do enough damage. But as you guys just saw, what you can do is add the melee punch. Shock him, melee punch him, shock him, melee punch him, and what that does is it gives you that 30 extra burst damage, where instead of your damage does 25 damage per second over time, it gives you that 30-second instant burst in order to clean up that kill when he's low health, instead of letting the biotic field heal him. So I went ahead and jumped into another battle here between another couple characters, and as you can see, the Junkrat kind of got me low down on health and was bursting my shield down. Thankfully, I'd done enough damage to where I had built up my Primal Rage, and I can use that to my advantage. When you're in Primal Rage mode, you really don't have to fear anybody. Reaper can really burst you down. Junkrat and his bombs can really burst you down, but you have a huge health pool, 1,000 health. So what you have to do is, it takes a little practice, but use your jump pack and your mobility in that Primal Rage mode. Do your damage, and then make sure you get out, because you're not invincible. So in this situation, I'm dueling with a McCree, playing in and out of my bubble. He's too far away, and I don't know if you guys caught that, but as you jump onto targets as Winston, what you want to do is right when you're about to land, you want to melee punch. That way you get the melee punch damage and the damage from the surrounding jump pack of when you land on somebody, and that's a huge burst of damage that'll help Winston burn down his targets faster, because we all know his Tesla cannon doesn't exactly do a whole bunch of damage. Another thing is Winston is you really have to prioritize your targets. In game, you always want to be you don't want to duel with tanks as Winston when you're dueling. You want to try and find the lower health targets, the supports, the DPS heroes, all of that type of stuff. And you want to try and focus them down first, because those will be your easiest targets to burst down. As you can see here again, it's Tesla cannon punch in order to get that burst damage. So even though the soldier's standing in his biotic field healing himself, I can still do enough damage to burst him down. Now everybody say this with me. Tank lives matter. The most important thing you can do as a tank is clear space, do a little damage, and overall not die. So when that Moira had me super low health, I didn't choose there to fight it out with her in an end-all be-all scenario, you know? What I did is I found a way out, found an escape route, took it, and then was able to get out of that situation. Unfortunately, I stepped in the Junkrat trap, but you know, you can't always do something. That again, unlucky for that McCree, because again, I had done enough damage to the point where, you know, I built up another Primal Rage, and he thought he was going to get an easy kill, but when you make the monkey mad, you know, the monkey can really start mucking stuff up. Another thing, when you're in your Primal Rage mode and you step in a Junkrat trap, you're pretty much dead. You're the biggest target in the entire game. Everybody's going to see you. Everybody's going to be shooting at you. So whenever you're dealing with a Junkrat in Primal Rage mode, it's okay to knock him around, but pay attention to when he drops his trap, so that way you can avoid it and you don't stand in that and waste your ult, because that's one of the worst things that you could do. Now, as you guys saw a second ago, McCree's using his high noon. And so what you can do as Winston is, a good thing to do is protect your more vulnerable targets from McCree's high noon. Jump onto your teammates and drop your bubble, and that way you can protect them from McCree's, high noon quick burst damage in that automatic kill. Again, I see this McCree chasing this soldier. I know he's going for the kill. I know he's not paying attention to me, so what I do is I jump on both of them. And the Tesla cannon, if you guys didn't know, can hit multiple targets at the same time. So if there's a group of 5 people and you're shooting your Tesla cannon at one of them and they're all grouped up, you're technically doing damage to all 5 of those people at a time. So in terms of doing effective damage and really being able to burst a group of targets down, Winston is very good at that. And if you can, you want to take full advantage of those situations. Also, I see Moira used her fade right here. And so what I want to do is, whenever Moira uses her fade, it's on a 4-second cooldown, so you have that much of another window in order to kind of get her and jump on her when she can't exactly get away. So here I only need one more kill. The Junkrat has me pinned, but what he doesn't know is I just got my Primal Rage, and even though it took a little while longer to get this Moira off the edge, I do eventually get the kill, and I do eventually win the game. But like I said, guys, I love playing deathmatch, and the thing about deathmatch is everybody goes in and they want to play all the DPS characters, and what better practice do you get playing against other DPS characters and doing those duels in pretty much a free game mode where you're not going to cost your team a team fight, but in deathmatch. So I use this to my advantage to practice on my dueling, and when these situations pop up in the game, I'm better able to handle them and give my team a better chance of winning. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on my Game of the Week educational series. Thank you again for watching. I hope that you've learned some things that you didn't already know. And if you did, hit that like and subscribe button. Comment below about what you want to see in the future. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Twitch at ADreamerXIV because my stream will be starting very, very soon. This has been your boy Dreamer, reminding everybody to answer the call because the world could always use more heroes.